Have you ever had a doll that you really, really wanted, but you ended up missing out on them? Maybe you missed out because the doll sold out in 2 or 3 minutes. And we know that's a thing. Maybe it's your wallet didn't line up with the day of the doll drop. You just couldn't financially make it happen. Or in my case, you forgot about it. So this is the She-Ra doll. And I really, really wanted this doll because I remember this character from my youth. And so when Mattel dropped this doll, now before the drop, I had took note of it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make sure I'm ready, whatever. But for whatever reason, and I don't know if it was a lot going on as far as work, I don't know if I was adulting and just had my mind on other stuff, but whatever happened, by the time I realized that it was the day of the drop, this doll has sold out. And I was so upset at myself. And here's the reason why a doll like this is important to me. Because when I was growing up, now, first of all, I am 6 feet tall, so I've never been a small, dainty child. I remember wanting to be a ballerina when I went on a school trip and saw a ballet. But again, I looked at myself, I was like, ooh, yeah, I don't have the frame for that, but it's fine, right? Yeah, I was always that taller, bigger girl. And so the dolls and the TV characters and the movie characters, the females that I always looked up to fit that mold. So for instance, when you see She-Ra, you see these characters that they're muscular, they're strong, they have all this energy. That's what appealed to me as a child. And this is not revisionist history, like literally. My favorite characters on TV when I was young was Wonder Woman and the Bionic Woman. When I tell you, when I saw those women in those shows doing powerful things, and of course we see it now, we can see how cheesy it is, right? The air punches and stuff like that. But I was a kid, so all I saw was, wow, these women, they are kicking butt, they are strong, like they are doing the thing. And I spent so much of my childhood running and jumping off of my bunk beds while I said, like a Bionic Woman. I have so many good memories of that. And even Wonder Woman, I would spin around like she did when she was changing form. And even to this day as an adult, I was part of that group who saw the first Wonder Woman movie. And remember the battle scene in that movie? And it was like all over the country, women had such a visceral reaction to seeing that. I loved every minute of that opening war scene because I was like, whoa. The same feeling I had as a kid, powerful women doing powerful things. So we take it to my doll collecting. And that's why a doll like this is important to me, because she represents the type of character I grew up admiring. And so I thought all hope was gone. But Mattel came through because they opened it up again for a pre-order to happen and a second chance for those of us who didn't get her the first time. And I really appreciated this because I don't mourn a lot of dolls that I miss out on. I really, really don't. I feel like if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. But this was one of them that I was like, oh man. So I was able to get her in that pre-order. Now remember, this was months ago. When I tell you, I haven't thought about it. So many other dolls are coming out. Life is lifing, and I'm just moving along. And then I get a notification from Mattel, your item has shipped. Maybe about 3 days ago, I got this notification. I was like, I didn't order a doll recently. So when I went and looked at it, it was Miss She-Ra here. And I was so over the moon, so excited to finally have this doll. And I think that's the thing about collecting is that, of course, the dolls are pretty, the dolls are fun. It's fun to clothe them and style their hair. But a lot of times the meaning goes a little bit deeper. It goes a little bit deeper as to why we collect the dolls that we collect. You talk to people who collect vintage dolls, and often there's a reason behind that. And I used to think that I was not the type of person that collected on nostalgia. They would have those polls on like Facebook, say, who collects out of nostalgia? And I never thought I was that type of person. But when this doll happened, it made me realize, yeah, I think there's a little bit of nostalgia, if not a lot, for all of us in some way. And so before I go, I'll just spin her because I don't have my little spinning machine, so you're gonna have to deal with my hand. I'll just spin her so that you can take a look. But look how strong and powerful Mama looks, right? Look at that. Really nice job. I think my favorite part of this doll is this sword. I really do. I think that's my favorite part, even though it's plastic, but they did a great job on it. I like the shape of it. I like the jewel in it. So anyway, I just want to come and just share some thoughts about that. And let me know if there's ever a doll that got away from you. And if it did you get your second chance?